Willie D Live.
So it's kind of hard dealing with people that are not aligned spiritually. But my family was the biggest. I've sacrificed the most for them, and rightfully so. I think that we have these vices that we hold on to because we think it's popular to do, or we look at our industry and that's what they doing or they have. But I've never been that guy. That's why I got married in my 20s, because I didn't want to be into no wild shit. If I tell this to all my mentees, you can have menage a trois, right? And then you're addicted to have menage a trois. Next thing you know, somebody got a disease. Somebody has, a thing they want to do, and you try it it spins out of control. And I've seen so many people spin out of control just because of, the fact that they couldn't control their fetishes, couldn't control the things they need to suppress. That's sacrifice. I think a lot of people can become demons if they gave into, you know what I'm saying, like that, because it's never enough. Then it becomes what, And then, people find themselves in positions like Puff is now. I hate to make him the muse of this conversation. I really don't want a lot of, energy from that to be a part of what we share, because our goal is to try to motivate, but it's a great.
But it's all relatable.
It's a great example.
Yeah. When you think about branding, like you are one of the few people who have really rose to like the superstardom of branding. You one of those dudes that when you think of branding, Kenny Burns. And you represent brands very well. You got a certain type of energy. When you host events, they're always next level events. How do you maintain your personal identity and the brand identity simultaneously? Where the brand doesn't take over the personal side, or the personal side doesn't interfere with the brand side.
Great question. I don't. I'm always showing up as my authentic self. I don't get into business with people that don't appreciate that. I've never aligned with the brand except one time in my life I didn't participate in the spirit, use the product. One time. And the only reason I did that one time, because I did my 35th birthday party at the Versace Mansion. And I needed this particular sponsor. I would never say their name because I don't indulge, nor do I agree. But I had 70 grand and I didn't have to showcase them. So I was like, this is a win-win. I needed 70 more grand to complete this masterpiece of a party. But yeah, I've never gone into business otherwise with people I didn't believe in the brand. If you look at my history of creating influencer programs for spirit companies, if you look at, obviously what I've done in spirits as I became an investor and owner, like, there were all things that I did, I participated in, that I drank, that when I created Heineken Red Star Soul Tour, I'll never forget that. Big shout out to True, Pettigrew, and Alloy Marketing. I'm not really of the marketing world, right? This was an opportunity. I'm a hustler. And when I found out that there was a certain thing that was needed, I became the guy that put those pieces together. In this particular situation, this company could get the Axe business. You remember Axe Body Spray?
Yeah.
And a friend of mine named Regina Gaines from Detroit, Michigan got the account. Don't know how she got it. She's a hustler too. But it was a big account. And because I did such good work with Unilever, that's who owned Axe, they came to the agency. Alloy was like, if you hire Kenny Burns, we'll give you this business. And then I knew it was Lights Out Joe Jackson. I knew I had a skill set. I knew how to use it. And then by getting with this company, Heineken Red Star Soul was a CD I used to listen to when I was at Motown Records. And it was like really when Kadar was, having Erykah Badu, and you saw like the Glenn Lewis's and all this neo soul stuff happening. I was like, let's go on tour, man. We could pitch this to Heineken. I don't know what happened to us. So we went and repitched Heineken on the Heineken Red Star Soul tour when it was a CD. They had never had a tour prior to this. We ended up winning the business, and I put myself in it as the host. And that was really the start of the professional being paid to host. But I always just saw opportunity. I aligned myself with brands that I believed in, and I made the best out of every situation. Anybody I've ever done business with, I can do business with today.